top palm, bottom palm, back palm, pancake palm, from a spread, from a spring, from a fan, from a dribble. Palming is an essential tool for every card magician, and it's quite easy. Just take a card and place it in your hand like this, or like this, or like this. Okay, maybe not. Palming is usually done secretly in order to steal a card from the deck and produce it from somewhere else. Or you can use it for a color change, or to put it back in the deck after the spectator has shuffled it. Palming can even be used on other objects except playing cards. Like credit cards. No! Palming should never be used outside of magic. Any acts of crime will be punished by law in the magic circle. If you've always wanted to learn some palms, in this video I'll go over 7 palms which you can learn in just a couple of minutes and then spend the rest of your time trying to master them, only to discover an Asian kid with small hands is performing them better than you. Honestly, I've seen people with all sorts of hands successfully palming cards, so you shouldn't worry about the size of your hands. So I scoured the internet to see what other palms people have taught so I can teach you some new ideas which you've never seen before. So grab your favorite deck of playing cards and let's get started. Welcome to the 7 levels of card palming. How to palm a card. The card palming experts tutorial, learning, explained, revealed. I love the YouTube algorithm help. The first palm that we're going to learn from the 7 levels of card palming is what I like to call the wave palm. And it happens as you're waving your hand over the deck. Now, this motion especially is used for when you're doing a color change. So you would be showing your hand and then you can wave your hand and it changes and then it changes back. It's a very basic change, but if you apply it in a certain way, let's say for example with the cards facing down, you get a pinky break by using any method you want. And then you can gesture towards certain things, and as you're waving your hand over the deck, you can steal that card. So it can be applied in various situations. This is of course very similar to just going over the deck and doing this, but when you do that, from my point of view, is much more obvious. Whereas what magicians like to refer to as an action palm, when you're performing this action palm, you're using a bigger cover by gesturing towards something, and this will help you cover the sleight itself. So let's get into the actual explanation, no more mumbo jumbo. We're gonna take a pinky break underneath the top card, do this in any way that you want, and then what's gonna happen is we're literally going to palm this card from the deck. Now, this is made much easier if you release the grip that you have from your thumb over the card by just separating the base of your thumb from the deck, and you'll notice that now there's a gap between the card and the deck. So in this position, you're actually going to come with your hand and you're going to flex your index finger right here at the outer left corner, and using your index finger in the base of your right thumb, you're going to grip this left side, and notice that as soon as I just flex it, it will go into my palm. So I go over here, I just flex it, and then I continue the motion while the rest of my fingers are curling over the card. And you just have to get used to doing this, you know? And once you're able to do that with a break, you're gonna be able to do the same thing without a break. But don't jump steps. Very important to do this with a break. It's so much easier if you just do it like that. And you'll notice that you're able to do it very fast, and you can instantly use it for a color change. So you can start with a card over here, you get your pinky break, you wave your hand once, and then you wave your hand again, you do a change, and then when you come back, you're just gonna drop this card on top and continue the motion. And that is basically the wave palm. It's very simple. Give it a little bit of time so that you can start using it without an actual break. And when you do it without a break, what happens is your index finger contacts the left side, and by applying a little bit of pressure, you can move this card to the left. And once it's moved to the left, you can actually flex your finger and instantly move it into palm. And there you have it, guys. That is the wave palm. The second palm in the 7 levels of card palming is a rendition of a Vernon palm. So Jack Ty showed me this in, I think it was Glasgow, at the Carl Lefong convention. And he was doing it, and I told him that I actually do the same thing, and I know it's divergence. And he said, no, actually it's not divergence, because Vernon just uses, I think it was the index finger, or he just separates the card, and then by applying with your pinky, you can instantly make the card go in your hand. But in this method, you're actually moving the card instantly in your palm. So your right hand doesn't do anything. Everything is being done by your left fingers. And this makes this palm so fast in comparison to a classic palm that you might see anywhere else on the internet, is because when you're doing a classic palm, you're doing this motion that is so giving. You know, you're showing your spectator that you're literally taking something. Whereas in this position, the card is literally going in your palm, so you don't have to do any other motions. So let's see just what's happening right here in your left hand. You get a pinky break with your left fingers, and then with your thumb and middle finger, you're gonna grip the sides of the card. Now, I know for me, it feels very easy to do this motion because I perform cardistry, and I've been doing this palm for over 8 years. Now, I might underestimate just how difficult this motion can be. So just try it out. I know your finger might treble, it might move like this. Let me try and do it with the other hand. Let's see if it's... Yes, it definitely is much more difficult. I can feel this, you know? But try and grip that card, you know, because you're gripping the entire deck. But because of this pinky break that you have, once you move your middle finger upwards like this, the only card that's gonna go with the middle finger is the card that you have a break underneath. So you go like this, and right now it's completely horizontal. So what we need to do is move our middle finger downwards like that. And because of the deck that is underneath, the card is going to swivel upwards, just like this. And in this position, all we need to do is grab the deck in a biddle grip. This is called a biddle grip, where your thumb is in the back and the rest of the fingers are in the front. You grab the deck and the card will go instantly into your palm. And these two motions need to be done at the same time. So it will be something like you're not doing it, no, 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 yes. Like at that point where your right hand is about to grip the deck, that's when you're doing it. And then you will have the card in your palm. There's not much more to it. You have to do it in steps. Get used to the pinky break, get used to doing this, put it back, get used to doing it just like that, so you have it down. And then come over here, keep it like that, and grip the deck. And get used to gripping the deck with the card. And once you have these 3 steps, start doing it slowly at the same time, you know? You come here, you put it back. You grip, you go there. And as you keep practicing, the speed will come. So don't rush it. And I guarantee you that you'll have it down in like, no, I don't know the expression. You'll have it down fast. And that is it, guys. That's the rendition of Vernon's classic palm. The third palm in the 7 levels of card palming is one that happens while you're overhand shuffling the cards. And I feel a palm being done while you're performing a shuffle like this is one that will fly by the spectator because it happens in something that is very familiar to them, an overhand shuffle, just like that. You come over here, you straighten all the cards, and the card is in your palm instantly. Now, the way that you're gonna do this is by having a card on the bottom, you retain that as you shuffle the cards. Your fingers are gonna push this card towards the right side. You're gonna use your index and the base of your thumb. You're gonna be using these 2 things all of the time to apply pressure on the side over here. And then from underneath, you're gonna let go of your fingers, and that's going to kick the card into your palm. So you let go, and the card is kicked into your palm as you straighten the cards out. So that would be a run through the entire thing. So let's go into it now. What happens when you're actually retaining this card is your left fingers are actually applying pressure on this card, and your right fingers are just gonna take all of the other cards. So just like in a normal overhand shuffle where you take the entire deck, in this motion you're keeping that card as you take the rest. So that card stays on the bottom. You shuffle these, try and do it a little bit messy so you have a reason why you want to hit the cards. At this point, it doesn't matter how messy these cards are because all of these are going in the deck. From underneath, you're gonna kick this card just like that. You're literally just pushing your fingers like that. And once the card is over there and it's completely blocked by all the other ones, I am actually going to come with my right hand and even push it even further so that I can contact it and grip it a little bit. Once it's gripped, I'm gonna let go of my fingers.
Just wanted to remind you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Flex my right hand and start hitting the cards. And just like that, you're gonna palm a card in your right hand. And this actually happens when you wanna give the deck to the spectator to shuffle as well. So you have the king, you're shuffling, you're extending. If you have another card going like that, just hit a little bit, then go underneath, take that card, and you go like that. Let's go again. Over here, kick, I go underneath, I hit all the cards, and I give it to the spectator. One advice that I can give you is don't do this while looking at the playing cards. Do this while you are talking with the spectator, even the hitting motion, because the spectator isn't really thinking that you're doing anything, because you're literally just shuffling the cards. You can be talking to the spectator, you can do a pause here and slowly kick the card there so you don't rush. And then you're gonna grip it, hit all of those cards, give it to the spectator to shuffle. Make sure that they don't see this side, which is the side that most people are going to see. And you do this by not really opening your hand, but by giving the deck like this, you know, where your hand is completely closed, which is a normal way to give a deck, you know, you're just giving it like that, and they're not gonna question it another time. So they have the cards, you place them down, and then you can come over here, or you can go over here like that, or you can just hold your hands here, or you can let your hands fall by the side of your body. And there you have it, guys. That is the overhand shuffle palm. The next card palm in the 7 levels of card palming is something which I like to call the no effort palm. It is a palm that I created back in 2013, I think, or it was 14, where you go like this, you're just straightening all of the cards and the card is being palmed in your right hand. And it happens on the table. I wanted to include a palm that happens on the table because it's gonna be the only one, and it's the one that I believe everyone should learn. That is why I am teaching it to you guys. You are over here, you can grip it, and it's completely natural. You're just reversing the cards, and then you're palming the card. It can have certain motivations, as if you're showing the spectator that all of the cards have been shuffled, and in this position, you've actually retained the cards. Or you can just do it as you are reversing the deck. You come over here, you reverse the deck, you grip the card, you palm it, and then you're gonna have it in your palm and you can produce it from somewhere else. So let's learn the no effort palm. You spread the cards on the table like this, and notice that I am actually spreading the last card a little bit more than all the other ones, because what I want is for that card to be available for my hand. And once it is over here and separated from the rest, I can actually just palm it from that position. Notice, right? So we go again, spread the cards, get used to separating it a bit, like don't go there, a bit like this. And then I am moving the spread with my index finger, and with my pinky finger, I'm gonna contact the outer right corner of the card and pull the card towards me. And awaiting in this area is going to be the base of my right hand. And by pushing against it, I can just lift that card into the palm, just like this, you know, with the pinky and the base of the thumb. I complete it, my finger closes in so that the spectator doesn't see anything, and then I can come back like that and the card is in the palm. It's a similar situation when you're just spreading, you go, and then you grip with your pinky over here, you're just pulling the card, and then you continue spreading as the card is retained in your right hand. Notice that all of the palms until now, they have become more difficult, but they're very easy to understand how it functions. There's just a certain aspect to it that you have to get, and then you can do it. It's not something very difficult, you know, like when you're doing a back palm, for example. You know, it's not mechanically difficult where you have to strengthen your muscles and you have to make sure that they can do certain motions. In this situation, it's literally just getting accustomed to your pinky finger pulling the card and then applying a bit of pressure on it as it contacts the base of your thumb. And that is it, the card is in your palm. All you need to do is just straighten all your fingers and you will have been performing the no effort palm by yours truly, right over here. If you have any questions regarding any of the palms up until now, feel free to drop a comment and I will reply to any questions that you have. Let's move on. The next palm in the 7 levels of card palming is something which I like to call the pressure palm, because it happens while you're performing under pressure by Dan and Dave. Just like that, the card will be moved into your palm. And if you don't know how to perform this, there are many tutorials up on YouTube, so just Google, or don't Google, YouTube Under Pressure by Dan and Dave Buck, and you're gonna be able to learn this beautiful flourish, just like this. It happens from a pressure fan, which is something that you can pick up from Jeff McBride, or I think there's many other YouTubers that are teaching this card fan. And as you're doing this, you're just gonna leave the cards as if springing them towards the left side. And while you're doing this, you're actually going to use your left fingers to just angle jog one of these cards into your palm. And it's going to just sit there into your palm because you're moving it yourself. So you are over here, I start applying pressure on the cards, but first I do a small fan and notice that this card is already separated from the rest. In a way, this palm can actually be done with a normal fan as well. Now that I think about it, why did I never think about it? I've been performing this for 12 years now, and I have actually never thought about doing it because the fan is pretty ugly, that's why. I mean, in a sense, you could do it from a normal fan like that, but I feel the spectator is going to see, you know, when you're moving the card. Whereas when you're doing it in the pressure fan, all of the eyes are on that flourish as you're moving the card. So I start doing it, my fingers are on the card over here. I'm going to bend just a little bit. The flourish, straighten, and the card is now in my left palm. From this position, you can just take the cards, place them down on the deck, and you can produce this card from your pocket or from anywhere else. Obviously, your deck is in a perfect condition to do this beautiful spin on the deck because the cards are bent. So this is a bonus tutorial I just put inside here. If you have any questions regarding this, because I feel this one might arise a couple of issues over here, then just feel free to drop a comment. And I feel like maybe this angle might not have been the best for this, but at the same time there's not a lot happening, so you're just moving the card by using your fingers. One is going forward and one is going backwards, you know, and this is what kicks the card. This is what you spin the card and it goes into this position, and then you're performing the flourish on top. So just make sure that you know how to do this, and then you're gonna do that as the flourish is happening, just like that. And this is actually a card palm that I created after reading Dan and Dave's book, If an Octopus Could Palm. Just a small trivia there. Hey guys, it's Black Friday right now, and on our website, bigblindmedia.com, we're doing quite a bunch of discounts and promotions. If you're purchasing things, you know, you're gonna get more things for free, and if you're purchasing more things, you're gonna get more things for free. So make sure to check them out at bigblindmedia.com, and let's get going with the tutorial. The next palm that we're going to learn in the 7 levels of card palming is a back palm. But we're not going to be learning the basic back palm, which you can learn anywhere on the internet. But I do advise you that you learn this back palm before you learn this one, or not. You know, it's completely up to you. What I like about this one is that it's acrobatic. That's why it's called the acrobatic palm. And it happens as you are placing the cards in a flourishy way into your right hand. It's got plenty of cover. You can do it in front of the spectator. And there's always been that that little thing inside my head, like when are you going to actually back palm a card in front of the spectator in a close-up situation? Very difficult. I mean, you could do it while they're not looking, but how could you do it in front of them? And that's how this palm came about, you know? And we're gonna learn it right now. You get a pinky break beneath the top card, and I'm gonna show you what's actually happening. I'm gonna shove my right pinky into this hole, and then my fingers are already curled over here. And because my pinky is already underneath the card, I can come with my index finger over here and already grip the card in back palm position. So from this point, the card is already here. So if I would just extend my fingers, it would go behind my palm. But because I can't just do this, because everybody would see what we would be doing. So I come, I pull up a little bit, I grip, and at the same time with my left hand, I'm gonna take my left thumb, place it underneath the packet over here, and then watch this motion. I push, and then I turn, okay? So push and turn. As my wrist is turning towards the right, push and turn. Now watch together, go.
Did you tell them to subscribe? I told them, please don't punch me.
Okay. Here, push and turn. And my right hand is turning towards the right as well. So both of them are going in the same direction. Grip the card, left thumb goes underneath. At this point, in a way, the deck is actually helping the card go behind my palm. The spectator can't see anything because in this position, the cards are still blocking the card that I am palming, but the card is already in palm position. Here, my left hand is gonna turn completely so that it receives the deck, and the deck is turned and placed on the hand so that it hides any other, signs that the card is over there. And you can give the deck to the spectator to shuffle, and they're gonna be too focused on grabbing the deck, and then you can take your hand away and just produce the card from the air, or produce it from their ear, or you can just leave your hand fall down by your pants. But I don't really prefer that because you can just classic palm a card in the way that we learned, or you can do it in an overhand shuffle. So it doesn't really make sense to do this just to produce it from your pocket. But what it is nice about this is that your hands appear completely empty. You give the deck to the spectator, they grab it. If you want, you can come over here and you can just massage your hands. You can see it's really stressing to be a magician. Massage your fingers like this, and you take the card into the other hand. But that's a transfer. We're gonna learn the transfers in another video, in a future video. So make sure you subscribe so you can learn more levels of sleight of hand into the future, just like that. And then you can produce the card. The way that you produce the card is by contacting this corner, pulling on it, and then you move your index finger from the way of the card, and it's there. So once more, pinky finger, pinky goes in, fingers go there. Already notice that my left hand is turning. At the same time, I am going to move this card a little bit. If you can't pull the card, sometimes I don't even pull the card, I just move it so that I can contact this part over here with my pinky, with my index finger. So I move the card towards the left, I grab it, the hand is already turning the deck. I turn all of the fingers, and instantly the card is back palm. Make sure you practice this in front of a camera and in front of a mirror first, so that you make sure that you have all of the angles correctly before you perform it for somebody. It's a very nice flourish, and it definitely evolves what you can do with a deck of playing cards. And my philosophy with these techniques has always been that if you master this one, it's gonna make it much easier to practice and master other sleight of hand techniques that are much easier. The last palm that we're going to learn in the 7 levels of card palming is the top palm, which is a palm that everybody will use at one point in their career, and at multiple points actually. The way that I learned this is by using it as a color change first. So I had a card, I wave, the card has changed to the 5, and then I would usually just drop the card back to change it. This was back like 13 years ago, so cut me some slack, because I love this visual. But then the second one, it could look good if you do it well, but right now I haven't practiced it in such a long time. It looks so bad. This one still looks good. So we're going to be learning how to execute the top palm, and from my point of view is the most difficult out of all of these, even more difficult than the back palm, because I have tried teaching this to people and they have a difficulty pushing down with their pinky on the corner of the card and lifting the card into their palm. Because if you notice over here, my finger is really pressing down on the cards, and if I am not holding the deck, sorry about that, if I am not holding the deck firmly with my right hand, then I can push the cards and nothing will happen. So I need to first hold the deck really firmly with my hand, and then with the pinky start applying pressure on the corner of the card. And once I have a little bit of pressure built up, you're going to start moving forward. And as you're moving forward, how I like to explain it is that you're gliding down with your pinky on this corner of the deck. So you're just moving your pinky down. So first, just try and do it like this. You know, have your left hand hold the deck, and then with your pinky, apply pressure and go down on the cards. And then use your entire hand to try and also palm it. So you lift it and you come here. You lift it and you come here. Then try and apply the same thing as you are holding the deck. So you have it over there, you're applying pressure, you're going down, and then the card is being lifted up. Now, one thing that is going to happen is the card is going to be there most of the time in the beginning. Don't worry about it. The thing that you're actually doing is when the card is being lifted up, let me try and fail on purpose. Yes, so what is happening is when you're applying pressure, you continue going like this. Whereas instead of the pinky going forward, what you need to do is go forward and then go down over here. And notice that when I'm going forward like this, the card is really angling badly. And if I'm going just a little bit and then going down, the card is just lifting up, similar to when we were doing this one. You come over here, you apply pressure, you go down on the corner. I'm going to try and show you just a little bit here. So you go down on the corner over here. Notice that my pinky finger is flexing down over here so that I can start going down instead of upwards. So we are over here, we go, I flex, see, until here I'm still pushing, and from this position I'm flexing the other way, and now I'm going down. And that's when the card is going to lift in your palm. And just get used to doing that. I go down, I push. All of my fingers, not only my pinky, are flexing, now that I notice. So at the beginning, my pinky is pulling the card, that's why it's straight, and then my entire hand is flexing, you know, in the opposite way, so that it can make space for the playing card. Boom, and then notice that I am exaggerating here, obviously, but now the card has space to bend and go after the shape of my hand. Boom, right over there, you know. And practice doing that as you are placing the card down on the deck, down on the table, or as you are throwing the deck into your other hand over there. And you'll be able to use the one-handed top palm for so many situations. So this is definitely a palm that is meant to be practiced a lot. That's why it's the last one, it's the most difficult, and it requires the most muscle. So this is one that definitely you need to have strength in your hand, because you're gonna need to be able to hold the deck firmly. As you keep doing it, you actually won't be able, you don't need to do it, you know. But in the beginning, because that's what we do as human beings, we need to apply much more effort in the beginning so that our muscles remember the motions, that after a while you can do it just with the minimum effort. Like right here, I was barely holding the deck, you know. So you're not always gonna need to apply so much pressure, but you need to do it in the beginning so that you know exactly the mechanical motions that you have to do with your fingers. And that was it, guys. That was the last palm and the 7 levels of card palming. So that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comment section below which palm was your favorite one. And if you have any questions regarding them, like something is not working, then definitely ask me in the comment section and I will reply to every question. Last week, we did a video on color changes. So if you enjoy color changes and would like to learn more, then there's definitely some things inside there that you haven't seen anywhere else. And next week, I'm gonna do a video on card switches. So this is sort of like color changes, but you're switching them out in an invisible way. The idea is to do it invisibly. So make sure to be a subscriber and turn on the notifications to be notified. If not, just tune in every Friday. Basically, that's when we're gonna be uploading them. We're Big Blind Media. I'm Eli from Big Blind Media, or Biz. People know me as Biz, but you can call me Eli if you want. It sounds so much smoother, I think, for the ladies. Hope you enjoyed that. Once again, if you're still watching at this point, that is insane, you know, that is beautiful. So I hope you have an amazing day, and you, my friend, have won yourself a free download inside your library at bigblindmedia.com. So if you make an account right now and you email us telling us that you saw this in the YouTube video, we're gonna give you a free download on us. So this is not like one of those old forgotten downloads. This is a nice download that you're going to be getting for free in your download library just because you watched until here, and I'm feeling generous. I have not asked my boss about this, but I'm sure he's going to be down about it because he's the greatest guy on the planet. So yeah, make sure that you do all those steps. You don't even have to be a subscriber if you don't want, you know, like just get your free stuff, man. It's free world power. And I'll see you next week.